What's going on, everybody? Blake here, Trade Tracer. Going to be a quick one this week as not much has changed. We are still in a prolonged downtrend, and we've got some key levels, and I think it's really simple. If you get above the January 12th high, I think you have very high odds on the S&P Spiders SPY that we have new highs. So above 473.20. I think we made new highs, but if you take out the last week's low, so January 10th's low, things could get really ugly. And right now, the Nasdaq is actually leading the way down, showing relative weakness. On the Nasdaq, we get above 390.20. Real simple. I think, obviously we have the top of the cloud, the 392, 393 area to compete with. But above that, I think, we have very high probability that we go to new highs. Very similar story. We break below, really I want to see us stay above this 379.50 level. You can see that's a price inflection point. But if we break below the January 10th low, similar to the S&P, that's below also an anchored VWAP. And that would be one of our key levels that I think you could probably take some swing shorts in the technology sector. I'd hate to say it, but, this is probably could take everything with it if it breaks this level here. Now, I'm not saying it's going to. We could easily rip to new highs, next week. This past week was the week before OPEX, where we oftentimes, not always, see pivotal lows. So that would have happened right here on the 10th. So that would have been a nice pivotal low to trade against. So as long as we hold this low, I think we can come back to new highs. If we lose this pivotal low, I think it can pull everything with it, including energy. So this past week started off earnings with JP Morgan. JP Morgan kind of tanked on earnings, so that wasn't good. Goldman Sachs also doesn't look great. Bank of America back also doesn't look great. So banks, the only one that thing held up was Morgan Stanley. No, it was I forgot which one it was, but one of them held up, and there was some options activity prior to that. So it was a little, somebody knew something, right? But going back to banks, we'll probably roll out of banks this next week. So, the XLF, I was really bullish going into earnings season. It still held the cloud. Friday did get back to that previous breakout level. But energy is it's really strong. So XLE is extremely strong. It's showing relative strength. This is where our focus has been. We've had many plays in the energy sector, and you can see the index itself. We had a trade above 60.84, and we're already almost at 65. So just in a couple short weeks, this swing is working really nicely. So energy is where it's at. So we'll probably roll some of our allocation out of out of banks and into more heavily energy. And, we're still going to keep, the NASDAQ. As much as I would like to be involved in tech, this is going to have to sit on the back burner until it can, show some relative strength. Until then, for our investment portfolio, we'll be involved in the S&P and likely energy. So we want to focus on relative strength. Right now, the three major indexes, the S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq. S&P is showing relative strength. You could argue the Dow, but I'm just not a big, Dow diamonds kind of guy. I'd rather have exposure with the S&P. One more thing we need to talk about is crypto. Sorry, this is going a little longer than what I'd like to. Bitcoin, right? We still need to get back into this area up here before I can start feeling confident about getting long Bitcoin. So it needs to trade above the top of this cloud. Similar story with Ethereum. It needs to get back above this 3350 level. But yeah, still really can't get too bullish until it gets back above this 3900 area. So keep a close eye on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Great places to bounce. That's not my style of trading. More of a swing trader. I've been long since back here. So, if you're still swing long, you still haven't been stopped out. Power of swing trading. But I won't be adding to my position until, ideally we can get back above this 34.25 area on Ethereum and Bitcoin. You probably try to take a stab long above 4,500. But like I said, it needs to really trade back above the cloud before I get too bullish. All right, so that's all I got for you this week. It's really simple. We're in a downtrend. The priority is preservation of capital and year-to-date gains, and just be patient. Let the market come to you. Let tech sell off if it wants to sell off. One thing that I'll say is, once we have rules to trade, price above the 10 SMA, we can get long. And when we have uptrend, that's when we get paid. So that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting for uptrend. I'm being patient, and just waiting for higher probabilities to get long market exposure. See you guys in the open.